All right, good morning, guys. We are live on Leftovercakechat. You can hear the church bells ringing in the background. Kristen is here with us as always, and we also have Jennifer with Island Bridal Travel. So welcome, Jennifer. Thanks for joining us on Sunday morning.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hello.
And we should state that Jennifer is at church, and the bells are ringing, but she's not getting married.
Not this morning. All right. Well, cheers. Thank you for joining us. We're going to toast you. Since you're in the car, I'm glad you don't have an alcoholic beverage, so we appreciate that.
Not today.
Not today. All right. Well, as I just dropped my fork, I have some exciting news this morning, guys. Vanilla cake. Vanilla cake,
Crazy.
buttercream icing. Nobody would have ever guessed.
I think the world is ending. Erin's not eating chocolate cake. It's amazing.
You know, I can't have all of my clients have chocolate cake.
So we're talking honeymoons this weekend. How fun is that? I think honeymoons should be like every anniversary, you should go on a honeymoon.
I agree.
Well, Jennifer is actually helping plan my husband and I anniversary. It's our 5-year anniversary, so we're going big, and Jennifer's helping us with that. So thank you. So I can certainly attest to the attentive nature that Jennifer has with the clients, making sure that they get exactly what they need. So after we go on our trip, I will post some pictures and just have you guys kind of enjoy it with us. So we're excited. Thank you, Jennifer, for helping us, and kind of tell everyone here a little bit about what you do at Island Bridal Travel.
Well, at Island Bridal Travel, we plan very special honeymoons and destination weddings. We have been in business since 2001, so probably the worst time to start a travel planning agency, but I think that's a testament to our business and our staff that we have thrived through hopefully the worst possible economic times of our generation, and hopefully our kids too. But we just really are very attentive to our clients' needs. And I think more than anything, and with your special vacation too, Erin, is I think the great thing about us is that we are very caring, and we've been in the business for 30 years. So we have amazing resources and relationships throughout the world. Like if I said that I've been everywhere and done everything, obviously I would be yanking your chain. So my resources, I always just say, like, I am a very friendly person. I care. And so I have some great friends all over the world that love to help my clients. So I have someone in each destination. Let me put it that way.
So well, real quick, good morning, Laura. Good morning, Gail. I think I missed somebody else. Sorry. Good morning.
Andy.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us. What are, Jennifer, some of the most popular destinations for honeymoons? What do you see the most of? Do people want to go to the mountains? Do people want to go to the beach, the U.S., outside the country? What are kind of the trends right now that you're seeing?
That's funny you say that, because sometimes I used to say, like, do you want to go to the hot spot, or do you want to go to the mountains where you can cuddle up in front of a cozy fireplace? But 9 times out of 10, people want to go to a hot spot. And what I do understand about that is, I remember from getting married, like, you're nickeled and dimed for a whole year, and you're to the point by the time you get married, you're going through the Dairy Queen drive-through, and you're like, am I going to pay? Are you going to pay? Am I going to pay? So it's nice to go to, like, an where you can buy the whole round of drink at the swim up bar every day and not cost you an extra dime. So it's really nice to just have that one whole week or two after your wedding to not think at all about how much you're spending or what it costs or how many drinks or how much you eat or all that kind of things. Just go crazy.
That makes a lot of sense. I never looked at it that way.
Yeah, so I think that's the most carefree. But then again, our clients are often spending more than ever on a vacation of a lifetime. And so sometimes they want to go, instead of the more mass market, they want to go more exotic. So whether that be a little further down in the Caribbean where you don't have a lot of the all-inclusives, and you're really getting out and meeting the locals and visiting the villages and experiencing kind of like what you would do if you went to Europe, most likely. Then, it's to each his own. That's the beauty of it, is that we always say sales malpractice is when you don't ask all the right questions to every couple, because no couple in 30 years is the same.
No, we absolutely agree. We deal with that all the time, don't we, Kristen?
Yeah, there's no cookie cutter couple or wedding, and I imagine the honeymoons are the same. I know, Jennifer, we've known each other for years, and this whole all-inclusive concept is so foreign to some people that have never been outside the United States. I think now maybe the U.S. has a couple of resorts that do it, but you literally don't take out your wallet. Like, you get on that plane and everything is included: water sports, food, alcohol. Even some of the places offer spa, included. So you're just pampered and not thinking about the dollar signs, for, like you said, a week or 2 weeks. It's so nice.
Yeah, to make it simple, I usually just say there are no cash registers in the resort except at the gift shop and at the spa and then at the tour desk.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
you
So you
leave the resort, explore, and yeah.
So you, Jennifer, obviously travel to these locations to meet the people that you're working with there, as well as kind of test the locations to know what you're selling to your clients. What are some of your favorite locations that you've been to?
I would say, as far as honeymoons go, definitely Tahiti and Bora Bora with its peaks. And there are several islands in Tahiti. They're all a little different, so I recommend a little island hopping. And you can split your stay between like a beach bungalow and an overwater bungalow to maybe save a few dollars. They're unique experiences, both of them. In a beach bungalow, often your whole door, you've got sand and beautiful flowers all around you when you're sitting on the commode. You know what I mean? And like it's open air, and your swimsuit's out drying and your shower's outdoor. It's just amazing. And over the water is obviously, what you would expect of it. I always say the biggest decision when you stay in an overwater bungalow is, do you want the water shallow, like 3 feet deep, where you can just wade out and go to your neighbor's little bungalow and have drinks, and the stingrays swim up next to you and the sharks swim up next to you? Or do you want it really deep where you can just scuba dive right out of your overwater bungalow? So that's your biggest decision when you go to Tahiti.
That's a really hard decision.
It's so amazing, but it's actually free. It does kind of freak you out if you've never done it. I know in Bora Bora, like paddling out and being over the reef and looking down and being like, oh my God. I mean, sharks, everything you can imagine just below you. And it's a little overwhelming. It's absolutely amazing, but you've got to get yourself used to that. They're really far below you, so they're not gonna attack you like you'd think. But when you're in your little overwater bungalow and it is so close, the stingrays come right up to you, and it's pretty cool.
I think one of the great things about the honeymoon is you're able to kind of get a little adventurous, and whether adventurous is a bungalow on the water and you have to make that choice between, it being shallow or deep, or you hiking through the mountains to a waterfall, or going to a snow location where you guys are going to cuddle up next to the fireplace, and maybe you'll get outside once just to try it. I think the honeymoon's a great time to just spend together and kind of just be a little bit adventurous and do things that you both enjoy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So a lot of times, like, we have a questionnaire on our website, and not that we don't want to visit with everyone and ask all of those questions. I always offer, like, these are the questions that I'm going to ask you. So you're familiar. And then some people it's kind of nice when couples get a chance to, usually they only see each other at 10 o'clock at night when they're laying in bed. And so, in the old days, before everything was electronic, I would ask my clients, face to face or over the phone, all these questions. And a lot of times the fiance would answer one way, and so the bride and groom would answer two different ways. and they'd look at each other like, I didn't know you wanted that. Well, I didn't know you wanted that. So we came up with an online questionnaire, and we just said, look, we can ask you these questions, or when you're laying in bed at 10 o'clock at night, you can discuss them and have a chance to answer them over one. And so then they can, compromise a little bit maybe too.
That is a great idea, because I can definitely see them both wanting something a little bit different and then having to have that conversation about it. And sometimes you don't want to be in the middle of that conversation.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Then you're like, you feel like you need to say, well, you could take some time and think about this. A lot of couples all say, let's meet, I'll ask you the question, I'll send them the questionnaire, like, these are the questions I'm going to be asking, these are the things to think of before we talk. And then I get that questionnaire in and it's done. And then when we do talk, I have recommendations for them that are tailored to what their interests are. So that's really cool.
I think it's so nice to be able to find a destination where you might be able to do half, like, kind of treetop, something a guy might want to do and find exciting, and then, the other half of the honeymoon, maybe go to the beach for a couple of days. So you guys are perfect to be able to suggest all of that, because you can kind of blend, what one person might want versus another person wants, but could all be very much in the same location, but they might not know that. So that would be my household. I would be on the beach and he would be in a treetop. So if anybody can help me figure that out, that's great.
That's also what we recommend, because and sometimes, especially for longer stays, again, like you said, especially like Costa Rica, I always recommend a few days in the rainforest and a few days on the beach. But there are a lot of destinations like that, or even islands that are nearby one another where you can island hop. Or, for example, destination wedding couples, like they get married at the resort and they want to be with all their family, but when the wedding's over, I always say then, maybe they're at a family friendly for the wedding because they're inviting families with children, and then they move to an exclusive honeymoon couples only resort off property to do their thing, and then the rest of the families can stay as long as they want and not feel like they're horning in on their honeymoon time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And I agree with kind of the changing up the destination location. We went to Panama and we went right into Panama City. We drove cross country, got to see the volcanoes, the mountains, then we stopped at the beach on the way back. And so we kind of got to see the whole country and all the different aspects that it has. So I got the horseback riding on the beach, and he got the climbing through the mountains up to the waterfall. So we we were able to kind of partner on that and do that. So definitely agree with that 100%. So, all right, the biggest question that everyone wants to know. Kristen and I deal with budgets all the time. I know you deal with budgets all the time. What should somebody realistically be budgeting for a honeymoon where they're going to go away somewhere? What is a realistic budget for them?
I would say, just to kind of generalize, and feel free to ask more specific questions, but I would say like, up to $4,000, you're going to get more of a moderate resort for a week in the Caribbean. So I guess we'll just talk Caribbean, since I would say 90% of honeymoons are to the Caribbean. When you go more, upwards 5,000-6,000, you're more in a deluxe property. And then when you go up to like 7,000 to 10,000, you're in a luxury property. And of course, that can change based on how many nights you stay. But for a week, I think that's a pretty good summary of what you're going to get. And then that also depends on, for example, there are places like Aruba where there are just a handful of all-inclusives, and that's something to be aware of. When you don't see a lot of all-inclusives, the great news is that's a really great place that you're going to feel safe getting out of your resort, and a lot of restaurants to eat at and places to shop and places to go. So don't be alarmed when you don't see a lot of all-inclusives. Just know this is going to be somewhere where you're going to be able to get out and about and meet the locals. In Aruba, there are a handful of all-inclusives, and then the rest are all what we call EP, European plan, which means no meals or drinks included. And if you, like, people will say, I want all-inclusive. So I'll be like, I'm going to give you all-inclusive in Aruba, but I'm going to show you what all the next door EP hotels are that don't include meals and drinks, because you have to promise, like, I want to show you the value, because you're paying the same for all inclusive there typically as you're paying for no meals and drinks, but at a little higher end resort. So I don't want you to feel like I've already bought my meals and drinks. I can't go outside of my resort and get something to eat or drink, because that's the awesome thing about Aruba is it's so upscale and there's so many amazing restaurants and places, you know, piano bar and nightclubs. And so I always kind of make my clients promise they're going to go to the Overwater bar for happy hour and they have entertainment and, you know, leave the resort a little bit. But I show them that, you know, even though, you know, it's all included, save some money back and, you know, plan to go outside of your resort. So I think
explore a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of explore. Well, and one thing I did want to point out is if you guys are paying for your wedding, use a credit card that you can get air miles on or something like that. That way you can get cash back and air miles, so that way you can buy your flights with those air miles. It definitely will help you cut down on the money that you're going to pull out of pocket. You're already spending the money on your wedding, so get something out of it. So definitely take advantage of that. I know Kristen and I use air miles all the time.
Well, I think too, Jennifer, and I don't know if you have your own plan at Island Bridal or if you refer to like the Honey Fund, but a lot of people, we talk about this in the blog coming up too, they're already like so established in their lives that they don't register anymore. So people can register for their honeymoons and buy gift certificates with you for the client, you know, so they're not even paying for their entire honeymoon if they need to have something people to gift to. So do you have your own process in-house or do you also use like Honey Fund?
We use Honeymoon Wishes.
Okay.
But I would say more than anything, I have some amazing tips on how to make your honeymoon registry not only successful, but also very tasteful. And those are on our website at Island Bridal under Traveler Resources.
Perfect.
The honeymoon registry, and then you'll see a little link for tips. But part of that is, for example, one, don't register for more than you're going to use while you're there. Like, for example, if you register for zip lining and swimming with the stingrays and this and that and this and that, your clients buy that and they're so excited because you want to make this braggable. So when I buy something on your registry and I buy zip lining, I'm going to brag like I bought him zip lining. And so when you get back and I say, how was the zip lining? And if you say, oh, we didn't get time, I'm wondering like, where did my money go? Because the truth is, you register on your honeymoon registry, you get the cash. But the idea is that you're going to use it on those things you registered for. And then the
good point.
The second thing is you really want to register for things or put dollar amounts that fit what you think your guests want to spend. So if you think most of your guests are going to spend $80, then for example, like you may have upgraded to the Overwater bungalow and you might be paying $300 more a night to do so, but on your registry, maybe put like, and you're saying 7 nights, for example. So your registry would be customized and saying upgrade to Overwater bungalow, $80 per night times 7. So 7 different people can log on and buy, you know, $80 gifts for you. And honestly, that doesn't pay for the upgrade, but you get the money and they upgraded you to an Overwater bungalow. And so they're bragging about that. So those are just a couple of tips to make it successful and tasteful at the same time.
That is great. Thank you for your time this morning. We do have a blog that posted at 10 o'clock on swivelgroupevents.com on Leftovercakechat link. So look at that. We will also post it on our Facebook so that you guys can see that. It has all of Jennifer's information. Definitely, if you are looking for a honeymoon or if you need corporate travel, individual travel, you just want to get the heck out and go on a vacation, call Jennifer. She can help you. Summer is coming. Take advantage of it. And you know you have a great resource in Jennifer and her team. They will take great care of you. I can personally attest to that. So, Jennifer, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you being here. Cheers. Congratulations to your son this morning. And we will talk to you soon.
Thanks, Jennifer.
All right. Thanks, guys, for joining.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Pleasure.
Bye-bye.